So hello everyone and welcome back to Book Break. I'm Lucy from the channel The Book Belle and I'm making a guest appearance today to talk all about YA. So Jean and the lovely team at Book Break asked me to give you guys a video all about my kind of favourite YA recommendations. I am a huge YA reader and there are some really brilliant undiscovered gems in the genre, and I really do believe that there is a YA book ready for every reader out there. So for my first choice I'm kind of cheating. So I'm holding up Fangirl by Rowell and Carry On by Rowell, because it's my belief that there is a Rowell book for every reader. So I fell in love with Rainbow's books a while back, but Fangirl is probably one of my favourites. This is a really lovely story, basically about a girl called Kath who is a little bit quiet and just enjoys being on her own and writing fanfiction, and then this guy called Leigh comes into her life and starts disrupting it a little bit. So Kath is actually going to university for the first time with her sister Ren, and Ren just wants to do her own thing. She doesn't want to be known as Kath's twin, so Kath is feeling very alone. So Fangirl is just a beautiful contemporary story, beautifully written but also hilarious, and it's really lovely, light-hearted but with a lot of meaning. So I think if you're new to the genre and you want a good place to start, you can't go wrong with Rowell. And carrying on with that vein, I want to talk about Carry On by Rowell. So these two books are kind of related, as Carry On is actually the fan fiction that Kath writes in Fangirl. And Carry On is the story of Simon Snow and his arch enemy called Baz, and they go to a magic school, and this is basically an awesome LGBT magical romance. I might have reread this book like 2 times already because there's something special about Carry On. It is perfect YA, and if you've not read this yet, it's definitely one you should take a chance on. My next choice is a poetry and short story anthology. It is A Change Is Gonna Come. This is a YA anthology compiled by 12 Black, Asian and minority ethnic writers. Each of these short stories or poems really explore change and kind of what it's like to be different, and it's a really powerful read. I'm so pleased a YA anthology like this exists because it is so important to read other people's perspectives and points of view. So this anthology contains works from amazing writers such as Nikesh Shukla, Katherine Johnston, Tanya Byrne, Patrice Lawrence and so many more. So I really would recommend you guys checking this out if you're new to YA, or even if you're not new to YA, because I feel like this is just an important and timely book. Okay, so the next choice is for all you fantasy fans out there, and it is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. So this is the first book in a duology that starts with this book, Six of Crows, and the second book is called Crooked Kingdom. So Six of Crows is essentially a heist story. It's told from 6 different points of view. Don't let that scare you though, because it's done so effortlessly and brilliantly. And it's centred around a gang of misfits whose methods might be slightly criminal. So as there are 6 different people involved in this heist, each of them has their own story, which makes for incredible reading. It is such an ambitious novel, but it's done really well. And something that Leigh Bardugo is excellent at is world building, which in a fantasy novel is so important. So Six of Crows is actually set in a larger world, which is the same world as Leigh Bardugo's first trilogy, which was called the Grisha trilogy. So this is set in the same kind of world, but it isn't related at all. And honestly, I think start with this series because you will have an unbreakable bond to the works of Leigh Bardugo and you will not be disappointed. Okay, so my next recommendation is a YA contemporary that I recently have fallen in love with. It is called Editing Emma, and this is by Chloe Seager. So this is ideal for all of you guys who need a light read that's really funny and features a completely relatable heroine. This is honestly a hilarious read. It's had me laughing out loud at so many points. So this is all about Emma, who is in love with this guy called Leon, and then Leon ghosts Emma, which essentially means he stops texting her back. And then when Leon suddenly becomes in a relationship on Facebook, that's when Emma springs to action. She's determined to create a perfect life for herself on her blog. and she kind of documents her daily life and daily struggles on her blog, and the book is actually written kind of as a series of blog posts, which makes it so readable and you are constantly turning the pages to know what happens next. But what I found really great about this book was how relatable a character Emma was. A lot of the things she does is a little bit out there, but there are some scenes where you kind of think, I would have done that in her situation 100%. So I'd really, really recommend this book if you want a light-hearted but warm read that will kind of just keep you company for a few hours on a Sunday afternoon. The next book is one of the most magical YA reads I have read in a long time. This is 1,000 Nights by E.K. Johnston. So this book is essentially a retelling of Arabian Nights, and it's done in such a beautifully poetic way. It really is a celebration of storytelling itself. It centres around this girl who throughout the book remains nameless, which is a really, really interesting technique. This girl lives with her family in the desert, and then one day a king arrives and wants to take someone from the village as his wife. There have been rumours about this king, how none of his wives survive, and then our heroine sacrifices herself for her sister and agrees to go with him. And what goes on from there is a beautifully told journey of courage and bravery, and also the power of storytelling. So I really recommend 1,000 Nights if you want a kind of fairy tale retelling that is completely original and beautifully done. And finally, I can't talk about YA books for every reader if I don't consider some non-fiction. And yes, YA non-fiction is indeed out there, and there are some incredible YA non-fiction reads as well. The one I'm choosing today though is Girl Hearts Girl. So this is a memoir all about sexuality and finding yourself. Lucy Sutcliffe, who obviously is the writer of the memoir, she launched a YouTube channel where she documented her long-distance relationship with her then girlfriend and kind of documented her coming out. So thousands of people started watching her videos talking about sexuality and also her coming out and finding herself really. So this is a really brilliant, powerful read all about embracing who you are, and Lucy's got a fascinating story and it's beautifully told as well. And if you want to read something a bit more kind of closer to home and true to life, I think this would be pretty perfect. It's also a really short read, so you can definitely read it in a day or an afternoon, and I would recommend this for an uplifting, endearing and empowering read. So those were my 6 very different YA reads, and I really hope from that selection that you find a YA read that is perfect for you. So I've absolutely loved being on Book Break today and talking to you guys all about my favourite YA reads. If you'd like some more YA recommendations and you'd like to hear more from me, you can follow me on YouTube as The Book Belle or on Twitter at Book Belle Reads. Until then, happy reading, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!